How's it going, everyone? It's NuttyNu here. I'm your host. In today's topic, we're going to be talking about should you use only OEM parts when you're fixing your truck, your car, your automotive, whatever the case may be. Should you use only OEM parts? OEM parts is original parts from the manufacturer specified to their quality and their grade. Recently, on my YouTube comments section, I've been called out for not using only OEM parts when I only claim I only use OEM parts. So let's go ahead and discuss that claim and that statement. In the past few years, or in the past previous year, when I was doing my 22RE rebuild, timing kit, timing change, anything that involved the engine, I always post up saying, oh, you should only use OEM parts, OEM kits, and I do still believe in that. But again, that was only for engine stuff like that. So yes, I do believe that when you're doing important thing to the motor, whether it's timing belt, water pump, oil pump, spark plugs, anything that's very important to the function of the motor to keep it running, I do believe you should use only OEM parts or parts that's meet or above the quality specification to the OEM grade. I don't like using a lot of auto parts grade for any kind of engine work, except for a few things. I haven't used an auto part PVC PCV valve, which isn't a big deal. But whenever it comes to water pump, oil pump, timing belt, timing chain replacement, I always prefer to go with OEM, or as some people know in the Toyota world, ASIN, whatever you want to call it. Now, let's talk about aftermarket parts. Where is it okay to use aftermarket parts that's not OEM? Your local parts store will provide it for you. So let's talk about that stuff. So things that I use on my truck, my Toyota SR5, I use CV boots, tie rods, ball joints, brake pads, brake rotors. All those things I can use parts that's available to me locally from my local parts store, whether it's one of the big box store or any local box store. Those parts are parts where they have normal wear and tear, and also locally they have some good lifetime warranty. Most of you guys know AutoZone have lifetime warranty on their CVXO tie rods and stuff like that. If you guys own the older generations of Toyota like mine, you guys all know that the IFS system is not the best for off-roading. So usually when you go off-roading, you'll come back with your alignment kind of off a little bit. Ball joints might wear out after a while if you install ball joint spacers and stuff like that. So parts like this, it doesn't hurt for you to go with local parts where they have lifetime warranty. You just bring it in and swap it out. And we all know that OEM parts for CVXO tie rod, they're super expensive. Yes, they do last a long time, but the local parts are just as good. It's just as good. So to summarize, should you use OEM parts? It's a yes and it's no. It depends on what you do, man. It really depends on what you're working on. Nobody's going to go and buy OEM brake pads. You're just going to buy the generic brake pads, the highest quality that's available to your local parts. So usually for me, when I'm doing any motor work, anything that involves a motor, spark plugs, stuff like that, I like to go with either the specified parts from OEM, Toyota, Denso, Ace, and whatever the brand may be, and stuff like that. Anything else can be aftermarket: headlights, tie rods, ball joints, air filter, oil filter. Let's talk about that. So oil filter, I do like to use Toyota oil filter. The reason why I like using Toyota oil filter, because the aftermarket one from your local parts store, they cost just as much as the Toyota oil filter. So for me in town, Toyota oil filter costs about $8, and the aftermarket oil filter usually costs $6-7, which is just a few dollars cheaper. So for me, why not just go with Toyota OEM oil filter? And for me, I like to hop on Amazon and buy the Toyota oil filter there. You get a package deal, or you get like a five package deal. And it gets a very good price. For $25, you get like 5 oil filter, and that should last you at least one summer, one season, depending on how often you change your oil filter. As far as air filter, I used to go. I do love using Toyota air filter. They're really, really good. I do recommend buying those. they're usually the same price as a aftermarket air filter. So when I swapped my air filter when I first bought my truck, I used a Toyota one, but I had to order it because buying at the dealership locally does cost more. But if you order it online, it is cheaper. It's about $15 for the air filter on the 3.0. And the only reason why I went with the auto parts store one because they were readily available and I didn't want to wait to order one. So air filter, I definitely recommend going with OEM if you can. But if you're in those time crunches where you don't have time to wait, it doesn't hurt to just go with the aftermarket local parts store generic brand. It doesn't really hurt. So those are just some of my topics of should you use OEM parts. And again, I might preach it, but again, I'm not gonna stand by it and say, oh, you cannot use nothing but OEM parts. It's your truck, it's your car, do whatever you want. I'm not gonna make it a big deal. I don't know why people make it a big deal. Just because I made a simple statement doesn't mean I'm gonna live for it for the rest of my life. It's just stupid in my opinion. Yes, I might use OEM parts. Yes, I might use non-brand parts. It doesn't matter. I can use whatever I want. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys use. What's your opinion on this topic? And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.